YouTube, welcome to my living room. Smoking Uncle Frank here. What am I going to talk about today? Well, I was thinking, I've kind of been watching things, and as this time of year for some reason makes me a little nostalgic, I guess you could say. Halloween season and everything. I'm thinking, I wanted to do a Halloween thing, and all I ended up doing was putting up an old picture of myself with makeup on. Actually, that wasn't makeup. That was trickery of the camera. That was a little app that I had found on my phone one time, and it had a bunch of these little pictures, and you'd take selfies of yourself in different types of things. You could put bunny ears on yourself, and you could make yourself look like a horrified clown, like I did. I didn't put my teeth in. I forgot. Anyway, so that's how I did that. I bought a couple more pipes. Wouldn't you know? Got myself some OMSs finally. I've been wanting some of these, so I bought two of them. I bought the OMS Dublin, and I bought the cherry woodrow, as old Berg would call it. It's a cherry wood poker. Great pipes, good smokers, nice for running around because they're small. They're little pocket pipes. Anyway, getting back to the nostalgic thing and everything. I can't do Halloween because Halloween's over, but like I said, this time of year kind of makes me a little nostalgic. Today I actually kind of feel like I won the lottery. And no, I didn't win any yabos or anything. I had a couple of yabos that I did, or rather not yabos, but gaws, I should say. I didn't win a gaw or anything, but I had the heating man come out to my house today to check my furnace, just the general maintenance and everything, and just make sure everything was good. And he looked at it and he said, your furnace isn't dirty. Your furnace is clean as a whistle. He says, I can't. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to charge you for it. So I feel like I won the lottery. I mean, normally it cost me about $100 for him to come out and clean it and everything, but he said my furnace was good. He said, it's it. You don't have to do anything with it. I'd be taking your money away from you. He said, so that's the kind of people you want to deal with, is honest people. He could have very easily went through some motions and vacuumed some things off and said, here, give me $100 or whatever, $99.95 or whatever the hell. But he didn't. He said, your furnace is in good shape. I'll see you next year, or I'll see you in the spring. I have them come out and I always have them come out and do my air conditioning and that, so they make sure that's running smoothly. What am I gonna smoke today? I bought some of the Peterson Dunhill flake that they reintroduced, brand new. Cracked it open the other day, and it's pretty good stuff. A little sweet smelling. I can't quite place the aroma, but it's not bad. A little bit of drying time though, so I'm gonna just yabber. I'm just gonna shoot my mouth while that flake dries out a little bit, because they're a little bit moister than normal. So back to my my jaunt about the holidays and everything, and I'm thinking about Thanksgiving coming up and some of the memories I have of Thanksgiving when I was younger. I've always liked video games, you know that. I've talked about that stuff, and I was thinking about I got to do some calculations here because I can't remember the date, but I was born in 1956, so 83, somewhere around there, I think it was. So I was about 27, 28 years old when the Atari gaming system came out. And I remember going to one of those little I worked downtown. I worked at a building called the Mallers Building, 5 South Wabash, big jewelry building. First real job that I ever got. Somebody hired me. My friend was looking for work somewhere else, and he had been working for this family down there. They repaired watches and they sold watch parts and jewelry supplies and so forth. And I got my foot in the door. That's how I got into the business. I went in there one day and I introduced myself to the owner, which was an old man. His name was Harold, old watchmaker. He's no longer with us, but shook hands with him, introduced myself, and he said, "When?" And basically they just said, "When can you start?" That was my application. I didn't fill out an app. That was the good old days. You didn't. I didn't fill out any paperwork or anything. They just, when can you start? I said, I can start now if you want. They said, well, come back tomorrow. And I worked there for about 8, 9 years downtown Chicago, and that's how I got into pipe smoking, because 5 South Wabash was just down the street from Ewan Reese, and I think I was in my 30s, somewhere in my 30s then when I kept walking by there and I'd smell the tobacco and all the wonderful aromas that would come out of the shop. And I don't know, I just got curious one day and said, you know what, I want to try smoking a pipe. I guess I've always been kind of an old soul or whatever, not to take away the name. I know it's somebody already got that, but I like old things. I like old I like old stuff. I like old video games. I've got the original ColecoVision over there, and I've got the Intellivision. I just bought a couple of Intellivision games, and they work. They all work. They're not just showpieces. So I remember going. I remember that was I was about 27, 28 years old. I bought my first Atari. It was a little camera shop near where I worked. I remember the damn thing was like $200. That was a lot back then. It was like a whole paycheck. But I wasn't really paying a lot of rent or anything back then. Me and my buddies had a place. His parents had an apartment building. We rented the upstairs, and we split the rent between the three of us. So I think it was like $100 a month for each one of us, and then we paid whatever we paid on electricity. That was about it, you know. So I wasn't making a lot of money, but at the same time, I didn't have my bills weren't that big, so I was able to do things back then, buy things back then that I could never do now, unless of course I win the lottery, which I probably won't because I don't play the lottery, so I don't I don't believe in that. I feel like it's throwing your money away. You buy a lottery ticket, and what are the chances of winning? So guess I'll smoke this cherry wood. Actually, this cherry wood doesn't quite. I still got a lot of flake left here, so I didn't let it dry out very much though. But so we'll see how it's gonna go anyway, because I'm on a roll. Can I say I'm sitting here drinking a cup of tea. I'm sitting here with my co-host, my best friend here. He's sleeping. He doesn't care about nothing. So holidays. What are your favorite memories of your holidays? I remember some of my favorite memories are kind of mixed good feelings and bad feelings. Back then it was a good thing because I was young, and I'm talking about when I was really young. Getting together with when I lived at home with the family, and the whole family affair, and there goes the garbage man by, or somebody with a big truck making noise. Forgive the noise. But I lived in Chicago, and I can't remember the exact years, but some of you probably will, and you'll chime in, I'm sure. But I was there for some of the biggest damn snowfalls there ever was. We had one snowfall. I remember when I was probably I don't know. I was still in grammar school then, and it just everything shut down. I remember I lived on Ashland Avenue in Chicago, and that was a big wide 4-lane street. A lot of traffic on there on that road normally. That whole street was snowed in. That you were Nobody was going anywhere. It was today I would freak out. I would hate it. But back then it was like, oh boy, it was party time because schools were closed. I didn't have to go to school. The kids were out in the middle of Ashland Avenue with their sleds playing. There was so much snow. It was that bad. Then there was another year I remember. I didn't quite like this one so much, but it was a pretty bad snowfall one year where. And I hope we don't get that again. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not jinxing us by saying it, but even the Chicago L trains were. I had to get. This was when I was working. This was in the '80s, I think. I early '80s. I had to get to work, and I couldn't get a train because the trains were snowed in. Even I lived I lived right around right off of Bryn Mawr. I'd take the Bryn Mawr L down to Washington and get off and walk over to where I worked. I remember that damn snow was so bad. I couldn't get to work for a day or so till they cleared things up. Matter of fact, my boss and them they worked they worked down there, but they lived out in Oak Lawn and in Naperville. Haha, they got down there and they couldn't get out. So guess what they ended up doing? They had a little storeroom which had a cot in it and a little refrigerator. It was kind of like a little nap room for the old man. He used to go in there at times and he'd take a nap in there. They had a little refrigerator in there with a water cooler, one of those water cooler refrigerators. They kept a few things in. They spent the night in there because they couldn't get back home. So a mixture of fond memories and some memories that I'd rather not repeat if I could help it. So looking forward to Christmas. Strange as it might seem, because I'm not a Christmas person really. I mean, I like Christmas, but I don't like snow. I hate the snow. Now that I'm older and I have to deal with shoveling all that stuff. Today I had to go out there and a bunch of I got a main I own the building I live in. I don't own the property, but my backyard is my responsibility. So I had to go out there. And funny thing is, we had a sudden snowfall early on. I think it was actually it was on Halloween Day, and usually we get a little bit of cold and a little bit of warm, and it's kind of in between there. You get that Indian summer action going on, and the leaves will fall a little bit, and then you'll go out there and you get some of them up, and then some more will fall, and wait for the trees to get bald so you can finish it. Well, that sudden cold we had like that one day, it just like all the trees just went boom down to the ground. So I had a mess of leaves in my yard that I went out there and I just took my mower and just scooped them all up and vacuumed them up, so to speak. And I'm done now for the year. So in a way, it's a good thing because I hate that going back and forth like that, doing them over and over, and just trying to keep up with Mother Nature is a pain in the ass. So I was able to get it all in one shot today, and it didn't take me long either. It took me maybe a half hour, 45 minutes because it's a small yard. It's just a trailer park, little single wide trailer I live in here. You can see what it looks like inside. I mean, there's my refrigerator behind me. If you go a little further back, there's the bedroom, and well, this is my living room and my kitchen right behind me, a little kitchenette. But it's comfortable. I like it. Didn't have to pay a lot for it. It was the best thing I could bet, the most I could afford back then when I bought it. And I plan on staying here probably until the day Uncle Frank goes to meet God. So So memories of Christmas, sitting around the table with my family, having Christmas dinner. I remember we used to have big, big. I mean, everybody would, my aunts and my uncles, and I can remember big Christmases at the house. Anyway, that's my ramble, my rant, my whatever for today. Hope you liked it. Enjoy a good pipe. Have a good day. Hope you stay warm. Me and Fawn are signing off now. Bye bye, all.